Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to Playwrights Workshop Montreal and to the Young Creators Unit Showcase. It's very exciting to have people back in our space for the first time in a long time for an event, and I want to welcome you all and say welcome to everybody that's with us in the gather space as well this evening. If anybody has any technical questions, please reach out to Patrick in the chat and he can help you out. Tonight is the culmination of a lot of hard work by all the members of the YCU, and we are really thrilled to see what you have in store for us tonight and tomorrow night. My name is Fatma Sarah Al-Kashif. I'm the artistic director and one half of the co-leadership of PWM, and I'm very excited to have with us tonight the other half, our new managing director, Anne-Sophie Grenier.
Hi, I'm so happy to have joined PWM and to be back in my hometown of Montreal. Everyone on the team is totally buzzing about tonight's showcase, so thank you all for joining us in our physical space and in our virtual space. We're very happy to have you. The Young Creators Unit has been a long-running program here at Playwrights. And supporting emerging creators not only provides our participating artists with rich and meaningful ways of exploring their own practices, but also plays a vital role in sustaining and developing our future theater communities. For those of you who are joining us in the virtual space, the accessibility room is just to the right of the virtual stage.
I'm going to wait for the music to stop before the next bit. You'll hear why, but we recognize the Ganyangehaga Nation as the traditional and current custodians of these lands and waters, as well as the 10 other nations with deep roots who continue to inhabit and enrich what we call Quebec. And in addition, the more than 20,000 Indigenous people from across Turtle Island who live in Tiohtià:ke, also known as Muniang, also known as Montreal right now. It's very important for us at PWM to continue to consider and to try to disrupt white supremacy and colonialism that's really embedded in the ways that we work, in our structures and our technology, and also in our dramaturgical practice.
If you're joining us via Gather, please take a moment to share whose territory you're watching from tonight. While this and many similar platforms allow us to participate in events without being in the same physical space, the technology and high-speed internet access required are inaccessible to many rural and Indigenous communities. These technologies also have a heavy carbon footprint, further leading to climate change, which disproportionately affect Indigenous communities worldwide. To find out about some current actions by land defenders and how you might support them, please visit defendlanddefenders.ca.
And if you're not joining us tomorrow night, please check out Imago Theatre's presentation of live staged readings featuring the work of Indigenous playwrights from all over Turtle Island, directed and curated by Yvette Nolan. Without further ado, I'm very excited to introduce the fearless leader of the Young Creators Unit, playwright and dramaturg, Jessie Stong.
Hello everybody, how's it going? I'm Jessie Stong, the leader of the Young Creators Unit, and welcome. We're excited to be presenting this year's unit, Year 7. Give a round of applause for our 7th year of the Young Creators Unit. The Young Creators Unit is storytellers under the age of 30, storytellers of all different kinds. I'm going off script, which I'm not supposed to. I'm sorry for the ASL. But this year we had a variety of storytellers, not just theater, and we had a really diverse, amazing group. Most of them are here tonight, so I'll give them one big round of applause for all our brave, beautiful young people. So tonight we're showing half the crew 6 presentations of excerpts from this year's work in development. Before we start, I want to do a call out. If you're a storyteller and you're under the age of 30 or 30 for the next year, and you want to develop your own work, as well as get professional mentorship, one-on-one support, please join the unit. You can email me at jesse@playwrights.ca or visit playwrights.ca. I don't know which camera to look at. I'll look at all of them. Visit at playwrights.ca to find out about the call-outs that we do in September. Maybe you're up here next year. In the middle. Got it. Thank you. I want to take a second to set the stage for what you're about to see tonight. Everything is a work in process. So some of the work is extremely fresh. Some of it is unfinished, but all the work has been through just a little bit of workshop, a little bit of direction from some local theater directors who we'll mention as we introduce them. But we wanted to really make sure it's clear that we're inviting the audience at home and in here to be a part of the process. So you're not like an audience like, I like that, I hated it. It's more like you're a witness to unfinished work. And at Playwrights Workshop Montreal, we really believe in the development process. And so we're really introducing, we've been meeting as every week as a group, and we've been giving each other feedback. So this is an extension of that feedback and including you in the process. So after the show, please feel free to stick around outside and have a chat with the playwrights as they come out. Or you can, again, email me, jesse@playwrights.ca. If you have any feedback for them, I will deliver it to whoever you like. We're really excited to share the work, and we see the audience as an important extension. I already said that. Thank you so much for being here. We also want to thank the PWM team. Let's give them a round of applause for the whole team. For the digital support, for the administrative support, for the emotional support, for all the work that you do. I wrote down the 8th showcase in my script, but it's the 7th, right? Does anyone know? It's the 7th. Play the music, cue me off now. It's the 7th showcase, and this organization has supported, through the Young Creators Unit program, has supported over 140 emerging artists. Round of applause. It says in my script, round of applause. I wrote that. Now I want to introduce you to my co-host this year, a member of this year's unit, an amazing writer, Anaïs Dampos-Joly. How are you?
I'm good, and you? I'm good. Hi. So, hello everyone in the room and watching from Gather. The showcase is presented with ASL. So we want to thank Sair Korb for the work and Holy Green for the consultation. Jesse and I are going to be up in between each presentation, giving info about the playwright and the piece.
And her piece is going to be tomorrow night is her piece. We're seeing half tonight, half tomorrow night, so be sure to tune in again tomorrow, show up again, see 6 more. So they're all around 10 minutes tonight as a wave. Some are a bit longer, some are a little shorter. We're going to take a 10-minute break after 3. So a 10-minute break after 3 to pee. Or whatever you want to do. So just before we dive in, we have to take a second to thank our amazing program funders and partners. The Government of Canada through the Department of Canadian Heritage. The RBC Foundation through the RBC Emerging Artist Program. The Zeller Family Foundation. And Y4Y Quebec. Thank you, Y4Y. We also just want to thank Rob Denton, Matthew Murphy-Perrin, and Jordy for generously lending us equipment for this event. So let's introduce the first one. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. I can't turn a page right now.
Okay, I got this.
Here we go. So our first presentation is by, what does that say? By Mayala Kali-Elter. Mayala. A neurodiverse, non-binary, multidisciplinary artist, a white settler on Danube, Swabane, sorry, I should have read that before, Austrian, Scottish, and Irish descent, currently living and working in Montreal, in Garnering. They are a being of dreams, regularly getting lost, but always finding their way home. In these current moments of time, they daydream about atoms, the ways in which they dance, the memories they may collect, and the events they witness as they exchange form between this, then, that. They create work about neurodiversity, bravery, brats, agency, belonging, grief, survival, advocates, and magic. That's the bio, that's not the play, but we're already there. So the play.
The play.
Or the piece.
Yes. The Girl That Feels the World. A story inspired by the life of a childhood friend, Madeleine May-So-Rose-Can-Wright. She is autistic and ADHD. She is a dancer and an activist, a massage therapist and a black belt sensei. She lived in awe of this world and equally felt the atrocities deeply. This story explores love, spirituality, the physical and metaphorical chords that connects us all, and the wonder. This story is for children, both the children that are still growing and for children held within our adult mind.
And the performer performing the piece tonight, there was direction from Murdoch Schoen, who couldn't be here tonight, but Murdoch directed 3 pieces this year, and we love Murdoch, past YCU. We'll clap for Murdoch. And I'd like to bring up the performer tonight, Erin Lindsay, everybody.
This story does not have a happy ending. Each page has been soaked with tears, but it is filled with beauty and delight brighter than the summer sun at noon. May each word be a seed of remembrance. May they grow to bring this world the sweetest of flowers that nurture those in need. This is a story about a person named Madeline. When growing in her mama's womb, when her body was being formed from blood, hope, and dreams, she was still fully spirit. She would flicker in and out of her first home, tickling her mama with her toes and reaching for the sound of her papa's voice. In between these precious moments, she would twirl with Zephyrus, the wind of the west, burst into light with the ocean waves, and soar along the wing tips of snowy owls. She adventured to the tops of mountains and dived from their peaks, gliding along the snow. She bathed with sunbeams, her spirit sparkling in the light as she absorbed their radiance. Each day she grew, stretching and jumping on her mama's bladder. She only wished to make room for all her thoughts and emotions. For this world she found herself a part of was wondrous, and she could not wait to share her awe with the voices that whispered, "I love you." On a cold winter day, Madeline danced into this world, a little being of light. Once earthside, her spirit was tethered to her flesh. This was no worry, for now she had a body, and what a glorious experience it was to exist inside a soft, squishy form that could move and express like legs. They were the most excellent at running and dancing and leaping, and arms that had fingers at the ends. Her arms wrapped around the people she loved most. As they squeezed tight, her heart would radiate with magenta and marigold. Then she would spread them wide and run around, pretending to be a bird or a bee or a plane. When she heard music, her arms would run around, pretending to be a bird or a bee or a plane, and they would illustrate the melodies, swaying, bobbing, chopping, waving like the water of the ocean. Now, when she saw something that interested her, she could touch it. Some things, like a flower or her papa's cheek, she would touch gently and softly, but rocks she could hold firmly, and trees were somewhere in between. Fingers were excellent at poking and squishing things, spreading paint across a canvas and eating spaghetti. When her fingers were covered in pesto or chocolate cake, her tongue would lick them clean. Lips and tongue allowed her to make so many different sounds. Buzzing, smacking, slurping, popping, blah blahs, dadas, humming, singing, screaming, wailing, and laughter. To giggle and wiggle in delight and anticipation, to erupt in triumph, to bark with amusement, to allow all the feelings bottled tight to be released, filling a room and painting it with her joy. Laughter was Madeline's favorite. When words were hiding in her mind, laughter was always eager to express her deepest feelings. Sounds felt like shapes in her mouth. As she spoke, she created sculptures of sound hanging in the air. Her nose was one of the biggest surprises of owning a body. For with a nose, there come smells. Some smells made her feel like lavender and rose-colored mist, gentle, soothing, relaxing, and hopeful. While others, like broccoli or dog poop, made her feel like she had thousands of spiders running all over her body and tiny worms squirming through her veins. And when this happened, there was only one solution: to shake, 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 and screech! Madeline's nose was so sensitive that at times it felt like it was going to explode. One smell was nice, 2 smells were good, 3 smells were exciting, 4 smells become overwhelming, and 5 smells, well, that was just way too much. Every smell made her body feel something new. And at that same time, inside her mind, she would see glorious, moving shapes and colors. Her nose would send warnings and suggestions to her tongue. Yes, eat that, eat that. Ew, don't get any closer. That smells disgusting. Pizza made her body feel like sunshine and laughter, but eating kale was like smelling dog poop. Curried goat and rice felt like there was a marching band inside her. It tasted and smelled way too loud. But brie and baguette with grapes, that was perfection. Eating it made it feel like a warm bubble bath and a hug. When she was told she was going to be a big sister, she squealed and bounced on her tippy toes, reaching up to rub her mama's belly. She knew it was her job to protect her little sister growing inside. She was so proud. She would press her face against the swelling belly, ripe with possibilities, and wonder where this new spirit was. Maybe floating in the smell of a rose, or blowing bubbles with an elephant, or playing hide and seek as a firefly with the stars and the night sky. Madeline couldn't wait to hear all about these adventures. She could help, too, teaching her sister everything she had learned so far about Earth. Before bed, Madeline climbs onto her mama's lap. Her mama holds her sweetly, and Madeline, doing the same, wraps her arms around the growing belly. She sings lullabies and recounts the adventures of her day. Then pausing, she asks, "How was your day?" pressing her ear close to listen. When her eyes become heavy, she nuzzles her nose against her first home and whispers, "I love you," blowing her growing sibling a kiss as she falls into sleep. Drifting into a world filled with bursts of color hanging in the air and the melodies of a field of wildflowers, her spirit begins to harmonize with the song as she radiates warmth. A periwinkle blue and silver glow drifts towards her, bobbing in front of her, then rushing forward, rubbing against her light. Effervescent bubbles tinkle through Madeline. "I love you," this orb sings. Eyes growing wide, Madeline whispers, "Are you my sister?" "Mm-hmm," her sister trills. They start to laugh. Madeline pulls her close and their collars begin to twirl, tentatively at first. Then with glee swirling together, they dance, frenzied and passionate. They bounce through hues of sparkling mist, soaring higher until they can see the stars. They float here for a while, sharing secrets with promises never to tell a soul. As dawn's light caresses Madeline's eyelids on earth, she feels the gentle tugging of the cord that connects her resting body far below. As she opens her eyes, she can feel a kiss on her cheek and a promise tickling her ear. "See you soon." On a warm, bright morning in May, Madeline welcomes her sister Earthside. She knew in a heartbeat that this little potato curled into her papa's arm was the most awe-inspiring creature she had ever met. She was given the honor of naming her sister. With care, she thought and thought and thought, and then her face bloomed into a wide grin. Her eyes closed as her cheeks rose. "Molly," she declares. Little baby Molly gently coos in her sleep as all eyes return their gaze to her tenderly. Years of laughter are enjoyed, salty tears, seasoned moments, but the family of four grows together, celebrating accomplishments of a lifetime. Do you remember when I told you at the beginning of this story that it didn't have a happy ending? We have reached the end. This next moment may make you cry, but tears are nothing to be afraid of. People cry when their emotions can't be contained within their body. Emotions that are larger than a moment or a place. Emotions that are so large they stretch through time and extend into the future. Emotions that can be seen from the stars. Some people cry when they are so angry it feels they have a volcano inside. Some people cry when they are filled with the happiness of 100 rainbows. Some people cry when they scrape their knee. Some people cry when they feel their heart will burst with love. Maybe before we reach the end, you'll need a hug. I know I need a hug. Wrap your arms around the people you love and squeeze tight. Madeline's hugs were the best, like a sunset combined with fireworks, electric, passionate, vibrant, and deeply embodied. Madeline calls her body home until January 27th, 2021. On this day, the cord that binds the spirit to flesh snaps. Her spirit rises into a world filled with bursts of color hanging in the air and the melodies of a field of wildflowers. Her spirit begins to harmonize with the song, and she radiates warmth. Madeline looks around, expecting to see Molly's light rushing towards her like it did so many years before. "Lolly, where are you?" As she wanders, her heart begins to project a stream of magenta and marigold. Madeline walks forward, allowing the light to guide her. She travels through the stars to earth. She arrives outside a window. Looking in, she sees Molly, asleep, turning restlessly. She glides through the window and lays beside her sister. Stroking her hair gently, she sings her a lullaby softly and then whispers, "I love you more than words can say, dear Molly. I am never far, always looking out for you." As Madeline kisses her sister's forehead, Molly's eyes flutter. Madeline rises and passes through the window, turning as her sister's eyes open. She lingers there, radiating love and awe. "Goodbye, Lolly. I'll see you soon."
That is The Girl That Feels the World by Mayala Kali. Where are you, Elter? Mayala, thank you so much. And Erin Lindsay, everybody. Erin Lindsay. You're so special. I love that. I feel like I was that girl as a child. I was like, yes, I feel too much. But no, it's so special. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're a special one to watch. I'm ad-libbing again. I'm not supposed to. Up next, we got Rachel Renault. Is a queer actor and creator based in Montreal, originally from the world of acting in film and TV. Over the past few years, they have been honing their skills in playwriting and screenwriting, as well as their theater projects. They are currently working with their partner to create a production company with their focus will be writing and producing feature films that express the nuanced facets of mental illness and queerness. I also know a little bit about those two as well.
Love the Sinner. Love the Sinner is a hard-hitting drama from inside the mind of Lena, a straight-A student and devout Catholic who begins to question her own sexuality and fate when Elle, her high school sweetheart, comes out as trans. It explores the arm doctrine can construct and how sometimes even well-meaning people can be on the side of the oppressor.
Thank you. It's directed by Murdoch Shown again. They're not all by Murdoch, but the first two. And the performance is going to be by King Rose, aka Black Casper, and Rachel themselves. Give it up for Rachel and King.
Do you want to move your stool a little bit more forward? There are different levels of Catholics. Some will occasionally forego cutting out meat on Fridays during Lent, go to church only on holidays, never enroll their kids in Catholic school. We were the true Catholics. The singing in the church choir, teaching liturgy of the word for children, labeling Halloween as a sinful, pagan, devil-worshipping ritual level of Catholics. It was the safest type of Catholic to be. We never had to question things. I felt at home in it. You didn't. In high school, lunchtime always made me feel like throwing up. The hallways were polluted with the smell of instant noodles. Kids sat in their posses lining the hallways like prison gangs, and there we were. You could handle it. Being the type of person who is just flamboyant enough, but relatable enough to make new friends. I, on the other hand, was too stressed out. So, we found the Rock, our place to catch up between classes and hang out. It was our spot.
So, I was thinking, I tried to make your grad dress. If you trust me with it, what do you think? Lena?
What?
Your grad dress, sewing, me sending you money, making you look hot.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Everything okay?
It's fine.
You sure?
Did you hear that Maggie is also going to try out for valedictorian?
Yeah, I think I heard that. Lena, it'll be great. You'll be great.
But we have a similar GPA, and everyone loves Maggie, and the students are voting.
Just focus on doing your best. Then why does it matter who gets it?
Yeah, I guess. I just think if Maggie isn't like a real Catholic, why should she even be trying out for this?
Lena, you can't say she's not a real Catholic.
Yes, I can. Did you know that apparently she posted on Facebook about being gay? Facebook. Shared it with the whole internet.
I hardly think that means she shouldn't be able to try out for it.
Some of us work really hard to be good students and good Catholics. We should get dibs.
Babe, take a deep breath.
What?
Lena,
Fine.
Maggie is cool. You know, maybe if you just got to know her.
I don't want to.
You're being ridiculous.
Excuse me?
You're not the decider of who's good and bad.
No, I'm not. But it's pretty clear in the Bible how to...
I don't want to be a good Catholic. I want to be a decent human being. Yeah, and we all do things that don't make us perfect according to the Bible.
Some more than others.
All of us.
Whatever.
You don't? You don't do anything that goes against God.
No. No, I try my best not to. Don't you?
I don't always.
You don't try?
Well, I masturbate, for example.
I don't want to talk about this.
You don't? Because if you do, can you really be judging Maggie?
Elijah, just stop. I think I had my first orgasm when I was really young, like 5, which might be alarming, but I swear I didn't know I was doing anything sexual. It just happened. A couch, side of the bed, sometimes the corner of a chair. It was just a way to fall asleep or to feel good. When I was 11 years old, we had sex ed at our Catholic elementary school. After the class, girls started whispering to each other, asking if they masturbated, and I was like, no, of course not, because I didn't know that was what I was doing. I realized it a bit later on. I tried to stop, but I don't know, before I knew what it was, it didn't really feel like a sin. Acting on homosexual urges is different.
But what if that's the only way she's happy? Yeah, what if she can't find a husband or love because she's actually a lesbian, like, fully?
There's no such thing as a lesbian. It's like a disease, and you're supposed to abstain or find help.
I've always found that to be a bit far-fetched, but okay.
No, the whole point of partnership is to do it under God, and God doesn't believe in that, and the whole point of sex is to make babies, so it's just super backwards, and honestly, I can't even believe that we're having this conversation.
Okay. Whatever. Let's just stop talking about this.
Well, I didn't even want to talk about it in the first place.
Fine. So you've really never masturbated?
Elijah?
Have you ever watched porn?
Of course not.
Okay.
Have you?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you since you're obviously gonna judge me.
So you have.
My lips are sealed.
You're such a brat. You have to answer this honestly, okay?
Oh boy. Okay.
What kind of porn do you watch?
Well, if you don't watch porn, how would you know the categories?
I don't live under a rock.
Debatable.
Well, do you watch gay porn?
What?
Just, you know what some people say about you. Just answer the question.
No, Lena, I don't watch gay porn.
You're absolutely telling the truth?
Yes, I swear.
Okay. Okay, good. I got worried.
I watch lesbian porn.
Lesbian?
Yeah. I like it. It's sweet.
Sweet.
I can feel your judgment.
I'd never watch that. I wouldn't.
I mean, it's not like you're doing anything, you're just watching.
You think it's okay? Because you aren't actually doing anything?
I don't know, but I like it.
Can you show me?
Really?
Yeah, if we're not actually doing anything, then it should be okay.
You're gonna freak out.
I am not! I can be chill.
I bet you $20 you can't.
Deal. Just don't have the sound on, just in case someone's nearby.
Right.
We should get going. Lunch is gonna be over soon.
Yeah.
Save others, snatching them out of the fire. And on some, have mercy with fear, hating even the garment polluted by the flesh. That was my dad's Facebook bio for years. He posted constantly. So many Christian posts and memes about sinners and how we must shield ourselves from sin. After you came out to me, I had to do my research. I didn't know how bad our situation was until...
Article titled, What to Do If Your Teenager is Convinced that they are transgendered.
Transgenderism is socially contagious and will occur in children who have pre-existing confidence issues.
It's important. It's important to be clear that their feelings are not the sin. The actions on them is what will cause harm.
Homosexuality is the opposite of holiness. So, there it was. Right and wrong, laid out. Hey, so Easter Mass is this Sunday.
I'm aware.
You always love listening to me sing in the choir, so I thought
I can't deal with that right now.
Well, you won't be dealing with anything. You'll just be coming to church like we have for years and listening to me sing.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm pretending. I feel like I'm being judged, and you're anxious all the time. Don't you understand?
It would mean a lot to me if you came.
Lena, please. I'm already getting so much shit about my parents, about not going to church. My mom is begging me, and my dad is like one Sunday away from giving me an exorcism.
So then, so then go. It's 2 hours of your life.
It's 2 hours every week. And I'm still getting over the sermon of how wives are supposed to serve their men.
It's a take it or leave it kind of thing. But being around God, you can't just throw that away because you're scared.
I'm not scared.
So then go.
I'm angry. I've had my hands around my neck for my entire life. And just trying to figure out what it would be to not have them anymore.
No one's hands are around your neck.
Just go. Leave. Leave me out of it.
You know, you don't have to neglect Catholicism to be yourself, right? Things can coexist.
I'm not saying that they can coexist. I'm saying that right now, I'm tired.
I love you. I want you to be there. God loves you.
It's not God that I'm worried about.
Everyone will love you no matter what, Elle. They'll want to support you.
No matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
What if I don't want to live in a room full of people who love me no matter what? What if I want to be in a room full of people who love me because of everything that I am?
They do. I do.
I'm learning things about myself that will make everyone I've grown up with hate me. There's so much so much noise.
No one will hate you.
There's conversion camps, there's support groups. Hell, my fucking dad has people come to get healed by him in a prayer circle because they're gay. I'm not gonna be around people who think there's something innately sick about me.
Well, it's okay to be sick. There should be no shame in getting help.
Gee. What?
If you decide, like, later on...
Do you think I'm sick, Lena?
That's not what I...
Do you think I'm sick?
This is your community. That's gotta mean something, right?
But is it community if when I come out they think I'm sick? You know they're gonna think you're sick too, right? You know they're gonna pray for your healing in prayer circles.
There's nothing wrong with prayer.
Even if they're praying for you to be someone you're not. For us to not love each other, for me not to be free.
They wouldn't be praying for that.
They'd be praying for me to be a boy.
No, they'd just be trying to help you.
They'd be trying to destroy me.
Just come with me to Easter Mass, please.
What if I did come? Yeah, what if I did come? And I wore a dress?
What?
When I think about what everyone will think about me when they find out. What if I just ripped the Band-Aid off?
I think that we should slowly peel it off. In time, with the proper procedure.
How slowly? If I'm going to be a part of this community, maybe it should be as who I am right now.
But that might change in the future.
Okay, I'll deal with that if it happens.
Do you even have a dress that would be okay for Mass?
I have a few. Been saving them for a special occasion.
It's a big decision.
I'm not just thinking about this for the first time.
Well, maybe you should think about it more.
But you think everyone will be loving and supportive and that there's no danger, so
No, Elle! I just don't know if you want people to know you as, like...
As
I don't
what?
know.
As what?
I think you look good in dress pants and a shirt, that's all. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You don't think I look good in a dress?
No, that's not what I said. It's just not appropriate church attire.
But you wear a dress every Sunday.
It's different. You know it's different.
How? I know it's scary for you. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack just thinking about it, but what if it's fine? What if I can really be myself? Imagine our future together, imagine how free we could be.
Our parents wouldn't understand. I can't deal with my dad right now. I can't.
We are months away from graduation. We are months away from being able to leave them.
I don't want to leave them. I love my dad. Yeah, he's opinionated and intense, but I want him to still love me.
I know. I want my parents to still love me too.
I can't. Just, please don't come if you're gonna wear a dress, please.
What if one day we were surrounded by people who are cool with us being gay?
I'm not gay.
Oh.
One more round Love the Sinner. I would binge that on Netflix for sure. I hope they're tuning in, Netflix Canada. We got one more before our break, and it's actually a video. I'm going to move this. Because we were online this year, one of our young creators was from Toronto, and so they couldn't be here today, but they sent in a video for their sample. Ish Van Weeren is a white, Dutch, UK, gender-fluid, trans, non-binary, transdisciplinary artist. They are a theater practitioner. Why am I wearing my mask? They are a theater practitioner, playwright, visual artist, mask maker, performer, musician, designer, and educator. They also work as a costume set supervisor and an actor in film and TV. They're on film. They're on set right now. And this piece is called Insides with direction. There's some direction from Johnny Walker, but Ish performed it, created it, edited it. As you can tell from the bio, Ish does it all. And we'll hear a little bio about it.
Yeah, so Insides. Insides use poetry and object theater to follow a child as they use imagination to cope with the absurd and overwhelming nature of war. This piece is inspired by conversations with playwrights Oma, who spent 5 years of her childhood in Japanese Dutch internment camp in Indonesia during World War II. The project aims to contemporize memory to find ways to love, cope, and heal in the present.
Thank you. So enjoy this video by Ish, everybody.
Un lampo di luce che squarcia la notte, fuochi d'artificio, senti che botte, la corsa rallentatore di una volpe che si è persa in città. Rimango qui alla finestra, il cervello va a 1000. Quando fumo poi leggo, poi penso e rileggo, la testa che scoppia e non dormo più.
Yeah, Uncle Seven showed me a picture of that too, and there are a lot more houses around there now.
In Halmahera?
Yeah.
Oh.
You remember
I
this?
remember.
Halmahera. That is the island, and Tobelo is the town. Yeah, and we want to. When we came out the concentration camp, we wanted to go back. Never been to Holland, right? So.
Yeah.
But my mom didn't want to because things changed a lot.
And there was another war after, because the independence?
Yeah.
Something like
well, was unrest, yeah.
Right,
because they want to change the languages, and they want to be independent. They want to stay from the Dutch people. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a vast kingdom in the Down ruled by kings and queens, princes and princesses. This vast kingdom decided that because they had filled up their own kingdom, they would expand. And so they built ships and sailed out to see what else they could find. They went on their boats, finally coming upon islands which they decided to take as theirs. However, since there were people already there, they took it by force and violence without regard for those whose home the land already was. They forced the people who originally lived there to work for them, killing many. One day, however, a vast kingdom from the up, made of kings and queens, princes and princesses, appeared on boats. They too, like the Down, had decided that they would expand their realm outwards. When they arrived, they told the people of the land that they would liberate them from the vast kingdom of the Down, and so were initially accepted. They rounded people up from the kingdom of the Down and put them into camps where they were killed and forced to work. After a while, however, they also rounded up the people who were originally from the land, and so the kingdom of the Up, like their Down counterparts, forced them to work, taking the land by force and violence.
Right, and we were just too young to remember.
Yeah, you were so
we were
young.
about 5-6 years old when we went in concentration camp.
Right. Do you remember your childhood before you went in the?
A little glimpse, but that is, glimpse,
Yeah.
little bit.
Little.
And then you don't know if it is real or fantasy, who knows. But yeah, if my parents could say yes, you do really remember that. But yeah.
Yeah, did you play any games that you remember, like games with your sisters or?
We didn't have games. I can't remember any from games. No, because we were in the concentration camp.
Yeah.
So I came here, like I said, 10 years old. We didn't have games. Can't remember what we did really in the camp. That's what I try hard to think of it, but I can't remember anything.
Yeah, did you have any tasks that you did? Like I remember you saying that you cut grass.
That's what we had to do to keep us occupied. The Japanese gave us a scissor circuit, whatever, to cut the grass. That's it. But the rest I don't remember. I keep on saying I don't know how my mother kept on us busy. I don't know, because she had to work. That's I can remember, but I can't remember what we did. Snooping around, maybe. Who knows? Maybe hide or go seek. I don't know. I can't remember.
War inflicts death, injury, and pain on everyone. The truth is, the more precious someone is to us, the harder it is for us to accept that they might die. Sometimes you can actually convince yourself that there's no way they could die. This naivete can't be helped, especially with a generation like yours, a generation that does not know war. You might try to find meaning in war, but all there is loss and unbearable pain. All that senseless death, it unleashes a cycle of violence and hatred that never ends. War creates only more war. Kishimoto from Naruto Shippuden.
Well, like in Indonesia, I was, 10 years old when we came to Holland. So you can this is a long time. That's 70 years old, so much ago, right? You forget things, and when you look at it, then a kid sees it different than an adult, right? They try to protect the kids more than the adults try to protect the kids, not to say too much or whatever, You notice, but you notice things different than an adult does. Well, it looks more exciting, harder, because you don't know why it happened and what. Yeah. But but you know, you look at different people. Now sometimes I look back and said, oh, you know, maybe I thought that way because I was a kid, and the kids, I was a lot afraid for every darn thing. So, but I go back way back then. Yeah, in Indonesia before the war, we had a good time, but I cannot see it as clear as you're supposed to do. But yeah, I don't know, was 6 or 7 in concentration camp, but it happened so much and so often fast. So as fun as looks blurry.
Right.
It's blurry now after 70 years. So I wouldn't be sure of it if it is truly so or not. So that's pretty hard to think about it or see it, you know.
Stop, we parkeren aan de rand van de stad. Ik check in en laat mijn jas in het hotel. Onze stappen klinken luid in de hal. In de lift kijken we samen in de spiegel. We zijn boven voor het vallen van de avond. Door het raam zien we de auto lopen, hemel al vervagen. Dat die bubbel bijna barsten, zie je niet, je verbindt me met tegenlicht. Blijf, verbind me met tegenlicht. Blijf. We parkeren aan de rand van de stad. Ik stap uit en doe de sleutels in mijn zak. In de lift kijken we samen in de spiegel. Ik herinner me je ogen en je handen. Ik herinner me het klinken van de glazen. Zie de stad door onze rood doorlopen ogen snel vertragen.
Oh, so we're going to take a 10-minute break. For everyone at home, please don't go anywhere. Wander around that little weird playroom thing that I love. I'm sorry, that's amazing. Wander around, but everyone here, just the bathrooms are around the corner, just to get some fresh air. We're going to be 10 minutes, then we're going to come back and do the last 3. So thank you all. We'll see you in 10. excited audience and quiet. You don't get to be both. So before we go on to our next presenter, I want to just take 2 minutes. It's my favorite part, favorite tradition of the YCU, is putting one of the YCU on the spot and asking them what's something you got from the YCU this year, something you want to share with people who might want to join, something you've been thinking about tonight watching, whatever you want to say. But give it up for Anais.
Nothing. I got nothing. Garbage. No, for real. I actually have met a mentor. Well, I mean, we had like this kind of pairing with like kind of a bit more established people who are already a bit in the industry, and that was one of my highlights because when you write, you desperately want people to read your stuff all the time, and you're kind of begging everybody. Right, Jesse? I'm still waiting. But for real. And so that was very good because I feel like we kind of got, I mean, personally, I know I had a very good pairing. And I just got so much amazing comments, so much amazing growth, so much amazing feedbacks. And I just learned a lot from that experience, from that pairing alone. And then there was on top of that, every 2 weeks we would meet every Tuesday. And we would just do some activities, and sometimes we would read each other's work. And that was also quite amazing because when I had to start, go back to work and kind of, the government was not sending me that sweet free money anymore. So I had to work, so I couldn't do the workshop for a little while. It really broke my heart because I actually missed it so much. And also just being able to be surrounded by other people who, like me, were kind of eager to learn and write and just share our stuff, or sometimes just share a good conversation about our work because it's very intimate. You realize that we basically kind of all write about stuff that we know, that are based on our lived experience most of the time. And so, and then we add, a little bit of imagination and a little bit of this and that, and then we have a story. But, talking about kind of like the process and how we came to having this idea and why, and we just every time we would meet and we would have like we would like break out in little groups. Jesse would put us in little groups on Zoom and we would just talk, and we never had enough time to talk because we always had too much to say about just us, our work, our art, our heart and arts. And and we would also it was also a bit of a support group at the same time because sometimes, we are still, none of us are technically established, and nobody was like necessarily super confident or cocky about their work. We were all like, sometimes we would all have our moment of uncertainty, and so that was also good to kind of, realize that we're still all human, we're still learning, and we're all in this together. And so just hearing other people kind of give feedbacks about what we do, and have actually really good conversation and not debates, just really just good conversation about, hey, what you wrote, that made me feel that way. And, I think that I could relate to what you said about that specific subject. Sometimes you think that you're the only one in the world and you're kind of like in your little writing artistic bubble, and then you share your work and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure nobody can relate, or like, it's not that good. And people are like, oh my God, that shit is so good. And you're like, oh. Really? Okay. Damn, it feels good to get out of your head and feel, okay, actually, maybe I actually got this. Okay. And so it's the reassurance, the support, the love, it was just really wholesome and we couldn't meet in person, but it was still nice to have this little kind of break every Tuesday afternoon, just on Zoom, no mask. So it's kind of weird now to kind of see some of the faces on Zoom with masks, but at least I'm seeing them in real life. But it was really, really cool. We learned, again, we did so many also exercise, like little kind of writing games or writing exercise and stuff that Jesse would give us. And also, like, we got a lot of tips. We got a few presentations from other people from the industry. Like, we were given a lot, despite the current state of the world all via Zoom. And I mean, frankly, obviously, I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to take with me as because it's only a year. It's not like a whole university program, but I am trying my best to take as much notes as I can, because there's a lot of valuable lessons here. And I also just love the people that are with me. They're all amazing. And so it's so nice to also see the evolution. You start, I think we started in September or something. Yeah. You start in September. Some people will change project, over time. Some will stick with the same project, but either way, we can still see an evolution every time we meet. Like when we get to actually read our work or just talk about what we're gonna do, you can see, like, in between each Zoom meeting, we would kind of keep on growing as people and as writer. And so tonight, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to people's work, and I'm like, damn, this is so good. And it's even better than the last time I heard it, and it was not even that long ago. So just as to show, it's a good program. It's a very feel-good program too. and it really helps also, especially if you're not necessarily sure, you're kind of insecure, you don't really know what you're doing or what you're getting into. Is this really what I want? You have 10 billion questions. You just go and chill with a bunch of other people, and who some are in the same boat as you, and you share your story, you write, you laugh, and you learn, and you once in a while talk about all those amazing Netflix shows in between. So yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much that, I think.
Thank you. There really was so much growth this year, and it was a really wonderful group. And it's not the end. A lot of the alumni come back. Once you're in YCU, you're in for life. So let's move on to our next presentation by J.C. Patani. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Patanti. I wrote it wrong, actually. I didn't put the T in. J.C. Patanti, I'm sorry. J.C.'s story offers us a conversation a young melancholy boy has with his seedlings, co-starring the seedlings, who have just started to sprout at the start of spring. Central themes explored in this piece are the significance of building relation to the beyond human world, and in that, the recognition that not all your thoughts are the same voice. Give it up for JC, everybody.
Hey, everyone. So this is the first script that I've written, and it's short and sweet. So yeah, I just wanted to play with what voice seeds had if we listen to them. Hello, my seeds. I'm here while you sleep, seen and unseen. I'm sorry I let you dry out yesterday and today. How much longer can we live like this? Who is the you are talking to? Pity the cliche, Charlie, but we're resilient. We as in us, as in you. I remember sleeping all the nights and days when it was too cold for us to move around in our husks. No frosty wind could dream of touching us. What pleasure! What abundance of rest, of peace. Charlie sighs deeply, almost like relief. He remains in a hunched position, still staring at his hands. I'm glad that winter was outlived. I'm glad you're here with me. How do I care for you? Caretaking as a practice? You make me curious about the sun, crawling across the horizon, encouraging you to breathe. I see you clearly now, exhaling into my lungs, each your own shape and definition and voice. There you are, and each of you unique, soon to be broad-leaved, ovate, pinnate, spear-shaped. I remember when I used to look onto you and your grown-up kin and see only a gigantic sea of green. There's a long pause as the seeds seem to be turning toward the crinkling of greenhouse walls, acknowledging the wind rushing in from the southwest. Charlie, do you feel sad? It's not that I'm just lonely, and I miss her. The way winter swept over me here, I thought it'd never leave. I thought you might never reveal your green. In this moment, the sun arches above the tree line surrounding the tiny plastic-wrapped structure and soaks every inch of earth and skin within it. Did you really? We always knew while we waited. We knew. Through the cold, only the periodic scratching of tiny paws made their way beneath the surface, the white blanket, and touched us, and ate us, and buried us deeper. We can't all live and sprout up. Some of us just won't. Some may take 17 winters to really stratify. Can that be okay? Isn't it kind of beautiful? Well, does it hurt when you first push up from the skin of the soil? Do your leaves first untrue tickle when they unfurl? Or does the tension of growth burn you? What do you feel? Roots reaching, multiplying as you climb towards the light. Sometimes I imagine it like those medieval racks, the limb stretchers, machines from the Middle Ages. Other times I guess that growth must be like gravity. It just simply is. Much like the ocean. You are like an ocean, a big sea of green waiting beneath the freeze until the right time to reach. Yes! Always so poetic, Charlie. There you go. You're finding your voice. Tell us a story, okay? Go on. Remember the first honeybee after the thaw? She looked so soft and so lost, fluttering a bit, but earthbound, nearly in the middle of the woodchip path. Remember? She left her bum in me.
She what?
I scooped her up by gently tapping her wings, and she crawled into the nook at the meat of my thumb and forefinger. I wanted to move her to safety, but as I carried her, I felt too uncertain where to go, where she might be safe enough. I don't know, I took too long or I didn't listen, so she stung. It's possible to care too much or say too much. You must know I'm learning to think aloud when I'm unsure. That way my tongue and my surroundings can sort out my thoughts together, so I don't get all wrapped up in my guts or my brain doing dizzy somersaults and back handsprings till I feel like puking or laying down face first on the sidewalk. We're here to surround you, Charlie. It's good to be where you are, to feel your feet. When you find your feet, I mean, roots in the soil combat mental gymnastics, we always say. Some days I speak to you just by touching in. I poke my head into the door where you sleep, or I reach, place these scrawny fingertips atop your soil, grazing, greeting. I introduce myself again. God, it must be strange and wonderful to be so new. We love your sounds, Charlie. They let us know that you're with us. here, coming into contact with our substrate all soft and wanting. Can that be okay? The small things that matter too. Just keep talking. Well, you are alive, aren't you? You like what all living people do, to know someone is in conversation with you. Who doesn't like that? It helps to know you're not alone. It's good to know you're not alone. I say, how are you doing today? I'm happy to see you. Did any birds come by? It doesn't matter what I say. What matters is the effort, the vital tones. What matters is my voice, this willing voice. Trying.
Mic drop. Hey. Give it up for JC one more time. And Sprout. Sprout is an emerging star as well. Emerging from the soil, get it? Okay, so our next piece, unfortunately, Nelly couldn't be here tonight. Nelly Esmeralda Zarfi is a French Guyanese multifaceted artist, actress, writer, and filmmaker. She started her artistic career as an actress that showed some strong interest in writing and stage directing stories that defy the status quo and deconstruct stigmatizing societal paradigms to foster more inclusivity. And actually, because Nelly couldn't be here tonight, Nelly sent like a little message that she wanted us to read. Yeah. And he's going to read it.
Wait, do you want me to read?
Just read this. That's in there.
All right, good. Une vraie tête de mulâtre. She's no lady. She's a mulatto. Forward. Tonight I am heartbroken because I won't be able to be with you. For months I have been thinking about this moment. Those 10 blissful minutes where I'll be facing you in the flesh to confide in you about my most intimate thoughts. But as it appears, well, I'm so good in English. The best way to make God laugh is to tell them your plans. What you're about to hear tonight is not just a random story. It's my story. The story of an Afropean mixed girl who refuses to be boxed in. A mixed girl who refuses to be told what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. A mixed girl who can act, who can write, who can fight. A mixed girl who will never give up because it's not even an option. In this world, nothing has ever been given to me. In so many instances, what was mine was taken away from me. But this stops now. Because she's no lady. She's a mulatto. Une vraie tête de mulâtre.
So we love you, Nelly, and wish you could be here, but we're going to give it our all. The performers, direction for this piece was from Sophie G. And we want to welcome to the stage our performers, Jay Smith-Johnson, Jamila Joseph, and Anais is also going to be in it. As well as, I should have done that on the mic, as well as David Levy, and Nelly is in the video. There's a video element as well. So we'll let them get set up. Give them one more big round of applause.
Nelly is outside, sitting on a bench and holding a journal and a pencil. She reads her journal out loud. Stage right, not lit, Gilles and Sammy are seated on a couch, eating snacks, drinking shots, and chatting while waiting for Nelly's arrival. We only see their silhouettes.
Mulâtre, mulatto. Person born of a black parent and a white parent. The feminine form mulatrice generally carries a pejorative connotation. Definition provided by l'Office québécois de la langue française 2015. I had to move to Quebec to hear this term for the first time. Before crossing the Atlantic Ocean from my native Mediterranean Sea, I was a mixed girl, from the Latin mixtus, mix or mélange. But now I am a mulatto, from the Spanish mulatto, mule or mulet. The barren hybridization of two close species of equidae, the donkey and the mare. Some miscegenation, or more prosaically, some unnatural mating. This ethno-linguistic and zoological exploration brings me back to a painful memory as an adult. The very much anticipated meeting with the father of my first chum Québécois, my first love. Well, if I'm being completely honest, my second one, but you know, who's counting? Not me.
Nellie takes out her cell phone from her backpack and plays the voice recording of her ex-boyfriend's father, a 50-year-old Quebecer with a thick accent. Wow! T'as pas les traits trop négriers pour une mulâtre?
Wow! For a mulatto, you don't have those negroid facial features. Those were the very first words the father of my lover, a history and geography teacher in a secondary school, greeted me with on his very doorstep. At the time, I froze, petrified, knocked out by the violence of his words thrown in my face with so much casualness, I even asked myself, did I hear him correctly? Yes, I was not dreaming. If someone would have told me that after leaving old Europe for the new world, I would become the subject, or more accurately, the object, of some anthropometric observation a la Saartjie Bartman, notoriously known as La Venus Hottentot, I would have thought about it twice before crossing the ocean. But I am here, and I have every intention of marking my territory and reclaiming my space.
Nellie resumes reading some notes in her journal that she recites like a mantra.
No time for despair, no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no more room for fear. Oh my gosh, saved by the bell. Pun intended. I'll see you later.
Gilles' apartment, a trendy condo in Griffintown with a direct view on the Lachine Canal. The living room is minimalist, a comfy couch, a coffee table, an LCD projector. Gilles and Sammy are eating plantain chips and drinking crémasse, a Haitian liquor, while watching TV.
J'ai adoré. Honnêtement, j'ai vraiment aimé ce que j'ai lu. C'est original comme scénario. Ton écriture est punchy, le rythme n'est pas monotone. Et j'ai été agréablement surpris par les références historiques. Ouais. On sent que tes personnages te tiennent à cœur et tu as le souci du détail. En plus, tu traites de sujets très pertinents. Et j'ai aimé que tu proposes plusieurs perspectives pour ouvrir le débat. Mais le public québécois n'est pas encore prêt pour ça. Ton contenu va juste s'adresser à un public de niche extrêmement restreint. Je vais être honnête avec toi. Personne n'a envie d'entendre qu'il a des préjugés, et encore moins qu'il est raciste ou sexiste. C'est pas vendeur, surtout dans le climat actuel. Les gens ont besoin de légèreté, de se distraire, dans des choses positives. Donc, écoute, désolé, malheureusement, on va pouvoir embarquer dans ton projet. En revanche, je ne perds pas espoir. Parce que je sens vraiment qu'il y a du potentiel.
Bullshit. Oh. T'as bien entendu. J'ai dit bullshit. Ça fait des semaines que tu me balades en me disant que la prochaine recherche du contenu qui raconte des histoires de diversité. Je t'apporte ça sur un plateau d'argent et toi tu me craches à la gueule.
Non, Nelly, ne prends pas ça comme ça, écoute.
Non, c'est toi qui vas m'écouter. Je suis tannée. J'en ai marre de vos fausses promesses et de vos idées vides. Quand ça t'arrange, ton équipe et toi, que vous voulez bien paraître, vous avez que le mot inclusion dans la bouche. Mais quand il s'agit de poser des gestes concrets et de renoncer à certains privilèges, là, bizarrement, il n'y a plus personne. J'en ai marre de cet activisme de façade.
Yes, but since I am Algerian and Ghanaian, it kind of overpowers the French and the Spanish side.
Yeah, sure. Basically, you're black when it's convenient.
Oh là là! Déjà, tu me commences à prendre la tête? I can't make distasteful jokes anymore? Hey girl, what did I miss?
Oh, well, not much. We were watching something about systemic racism and the movie industry, how people of color screenwriters are blatantly tokenized by the industry for the optics to get some big coins from the fundings programs and blah, blah, blah. You know, nothing new under the sun. We were waiting for you to start the game since you came last. You picked the first question.
Oh, thank you, Sam. You're so kind and generous. Gilles, can I get some sound effects for ambiance?
Yup, you got it.
Et ce soir, la question à $1 million est: have you ever been sexually fetishized because of the color of your skin? And if you want to know the answer to this burning hot topic, please don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Got you. Gilles, honneur aux hommes ce soir. Please share your personal testimony.
Well, you know my nickname is Black Anaconda. It was not so long ago at my office for the long-awaited Christmas party. A colleague approached me when there were just, the two of us at the back of the room. And she said, my best friend told me that black men have big dicks and they fuck real good. I'm like St. Thomas and I only believe what I see. So can I get a quick confirmation?
Well, why am I not surprised? You embody l'interdit, la force brute, la verge infatigable, le Bangala magic, the ultimate temptation, the forbidden fruit, the fantasy of the black man, that stallion that is addicted to sex and that performs in bed tirelessly. Mom bray like a horse, you can only be a beast. What can I cock for you tonight, mistress?
Wow. Well, we won't be eating cock tonight. I mean, I sure won't. But you definitely served the truth, But, guys, wait till you hear my story, because I'm a woman. And, dark skin a little bit. And I'm gay. So, let's simply say that Gil's anecdote was just some hors d'oeuvre. But I am about to bring the fucking plat de résistance. Oh, yeah. In the meantime, I would like to toast au jeu des trois vérités.
Oh, oui.
Cheers.
No time for despair. No place for self-pity. No need for silence. No room for fear.
We speak.
We write.
We do language.
That is how civilization heals. I know the world is bruised and bleeding. And though it is important not to ignore its pain, it's also critical to refuse to succumb to its malevolence. Like failure, chaos contains information that can lead to knowledge, even wisdom.
art. Toni Morrison.
She's no lady, she's a mulatto. Give it up one more time for Nellie, who can't be here tonight. We love you, Nellie. Nellie was such a contributor to the group this year. Nellie always had feedback, always had a smile, so much to say. Such an intelligent young woman, one to watch. Not young, I don't know, that sounded weird. Such an intelligent woman who's also not as old as I am. And I'm proving it as we see. So we're in our last one of the night. Can you believe it? And also, there was another issue with the COVID scare. So this is a Zoomed performance where it's going to be up on the screen on Zoom because the actors couldn't be here last minute. It's a little flexibility. So we want to give it up. While we have time, let's give it up for the Potato Cakes, our digital team. Busting their butts to get this figured out as a Zoom performance for you to watch live in the room and for you to watch at home. Alex Broll is a writer, a performer in Montreal. He has a DEC in liberal arts from Champlain College, as well as a degree in creative writing from Concordia University, making him above average at trivia. His comedy writing can be found at the Beaverton, CBC Comedy, McSweeney's, The Hard Times, and in just about every online outlet that takes submissions. In addition to the theater, Alex occasionally writes for games. This is what he's been doing with that creative writing degree. That was good. So Outrage Us by Alex.
Outrage Us. Alex project with the YCU tentatively. Interesting. Thank you. Tentatively. Titled Outrage Us. It's an acidic but farcical political satire. The play concerns the rise and mostly fall of the far-right political news host Miles Layton. After mishandling a controversy that caused his angel investor to withdraw support, Miles and his minions are forced to put on a show that will either save the network or end it all in one last blaze of shame.
So we want to thank some direction from John Lachlan Stewart on this one and our Zoomied performers. Hopefully this works for you. Tom Niles and David Noel. Make it loud for them so they can hear it all the way at home.
This is Outrage Us by Alex Brown. Miles enters.
If anyone bothers me, they're fired and they can die of boils. Got that? Miles Layton for Mr. Tanner, please. He's expecting me.
Please hold. Mr. Tanner will speak with you now.
Thank you. Why not patch him in directness of announcing the Emperor's arrival?
Hello!
Mr. Tanner! A pleasure to speak with you, if only it were under more pleasant circumstances.
They never are. You got me on the horn? It's for Gordon.
Of course, sir. I wanted to reassure you that this whole media circus is just a passing fad. They'll pack back into their clown cars soon enough. You'll see.
I'm hearing things now. You understand? Shit should not be blowing upstream. Noise is acrimony while arrangement.
Of course, I can guarantee, sir, that things will settle back into harmonious silence soon enough. This is a passing blip on the radar, debris and driftwood, that's all. Nothing to worry about.
Do I sound worried about it?
No, sir, I didn't mean, it's more of an expression, really.
You know how I avoid worrying?
It's not hot yoga and chai tea, is it?
I avoid war by virtue of the duties of my faith and the moral compass. Are you a man of God, Mike?
When I want something from him, Judaism is more so known for diminishing a man's endowment.
Your habit of deflecting humor is distasteful. My daughter was born in her distance from your ankles is a deliberate part of my duty. I'm not one to feel.
Believe me, sir, that's not something anyone wants. This will blow over soon, just another deluded idiot using harassment to turn profit on a useless degree.
That's all well and good, but what is it that you personally can do to guarantee this will pass?
Like, actually, me? Well, short of sending a profane email in the middle of the night, not much, sir. Unfortunately, I can't constrain free speech or free will.
I figured. As it happens, I can't.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
I don't intend to make a rectifying mistake above. Understood?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I apologize sincerely. Sometimes the heat we catch burns. It's an unfortunate quirk of the business model.
Christine and I caught some of the other day. We seem to find the romance in controversy.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear you finally tuned in. We do our able best.
Are such vulgarities really?
What? Oh, the show, sure. We push a button or three here and there, but it's for a theatricality.
In my day, conservatism is still a thing.
Of course, right. We're wagging the dog on this one. That's the tone and tenor of this digital age. We're leading a whole new generation to the right. Our listenership will be steering the ship of state one day.
No need to remind me. I remember why I keep your lights on.
The financials you shoulder are greatly appreciated, especially given our current slate of burdens.
Yes, about that. The numbers on your end have been underwhelming.
Well, a few setbacks tangled together, that's all. There were some supply chain issues with the latest link of product, and the charcoal toothpaste getting pulled really killed us.
I thought you people were good with money. Maybe it's just with your own.
Yes, well, despite being chosen, we tend to be on the receiving end of acts of God. Life's funny like that.
Let's not blaspheme over something that's based money. Though I've had jokes to which your types rather worship.
Funny. Sales will pick up, sir. I have no doubt as to that.
Sound and fury, my boy. Sound and fury. Besides, I intend to recuse myself from our arrangement.
Excuse me?
I have no intention of repeating myself or repeatedly taking up the tab for another man's mistakes. Think of it as a chance to get right with yourself.
Sir, we just need to be floated a few more months, half a year at the most. The analytics show at Plain, our audience is only growing.
I could have bought a piece of ranch land with the stake I put in your filthy little enterprise. As what we have here, gilding horses seems mighty more pleasant.
You certainly seem to be loving castrating me.
You have a month. Show me you can swerve this show into a program worthy of time's preciousness, and I'll keep the light going. An opportunity for effort is nothing but good news. Convince me this wasn't my mistake, Miles.
If we could just... Fuck! God fucking damn it!
Boss, is everything alright?
Fuck!
Okay.
Gather the brain slugs in the conference room for a meeting in 20. I have to smoke.
Miles walks along the empty studio and wistfully sits at his old desk. He drums his fingers along its surface and pauses, He finds a small stack of papers, old news stories, under the desk, and spreads it across the surface.
So this is it? I have to say, a pretty underwhelming this for a pretty underwhelming it. I guess that's what's in store for me. Thises and itses, which that are ultimately disappointing once you've squeezed the thrill out of them. I can't tell if I had a good run or never really took off. I definitely was hoping for one of those heavy metallic credit cards and didn't get that, so add that to the heap of indignities. Maybe this was good though. I hate that kind of orange juice get up and go talk. The truth is, I rolled the dice on my talent and the numbers didn't add up. My personality is just another foreclosed business. Try it again. Maybe there's an angle with a little patience and a lot of luck. I don't know if I'm cut out for seconds. I got to be one of the special people for a little while, just a small slurp of the manna from heaven. There's a great chain of being to this life of ours, with the gods among men on one end and the lowliest worms on the other. Now I know I'm somewhere in the bottom half. Some people are capital, legitimate, literal titans of fucking industry that can move mountains. And for a moment there, they lifted this little marionette to see how it danced. Not so well, it turns out. Not responsive to commands. What a defect. The worst to have. Maybe success was a knockoff dream. A cheap fantasy some marketer planted in my head from before I was clever enough to know the tricks. My little parasite I breastfed and nurtured because it made me feel like I was the one jerking off into silk and not the crusty tissue. Oh well. Memories, right? Of course it's all tainted now. Every good show has that little bilious aftertaste, what a sommelier of shame such as myself would recognize as the "you are a failure" flavor. Not so fun to frolic in. But you were a failure before this, right? It wasn't so bad. Well, obviously this is worse, because you're older and shittier, but the principles are the same. In a way, it's like being dead. There was no you before this, and there won't be one after. A failure then and now, and probably always. No grand jury is forming, no great reckoning, and what pitchforks there were have shuffled along by now. You could limp away, change your name, a Jewish tradition in and of itself. The first one to do that to get out of show business. Well, a few people got a hearty chuckle out of my flame out. Baruch Hashem. I know the feeling, and it's good. People get exactly what they deserve, which would be way too kind if it wasn't cruel. My marionette that was is an effigy, and now that's burnt to a crisp. I could, good little worm that I am, crawl my way back from the ashes, maybe play the same sport for the other side, commit some new buzzwords to memory. It's all in the delivery anyway. But who's to say you won't do this all over again and end up right back here, older and shittier? What's the alternative? Just be another guy? Who the fuck wants to do that? The end. We can't hear?
Yeah. We hope you had fun if you can hear us. We're sorry about the echo.
I have a feeling they might not be there.
6 playwrights tonight. And to my co-host here, give a round of applause. So please be sure to take some time if you're watching at home or if you're in the audience tonight, just give one quick share on social media to come back for tomorrow. We want to have the same people and new people, 6 more presentations tomorrow. But thank you all for coming out. Thanks for being here. And if you want to mingle and chat, we ask that you just kind of go outside a little bit. Don't hang around for too long in here, even though you're excited. We'll all be out there. It's not raining anymore. So thank you all for coming. Give it up for the Young Creators Unit. We'll see you all out there. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right.